Hey everybody, and welcome to a very special video. I figured that after doing kind of almost close to 2 years of crocheting and doing some of that stuff on YouTube, that I should probably do one of these videos where I show you how to do kind of like the basic setups and starts of things and just basic pattern recognition and basic kind of crochet stitches, so that way you guys will be equipped to kind of follow my tutorials on some of the projects that you guys want to see. So for this video, we are going to be tackling how to do a standard slip knot, how to do chaining, and how to do the magic ring or magic circle in some cases, and how to do the chain circle as well. So first of all, let's tackle the slip knot. So the slip knot is actually very simple. I have this very lovely green yarn with me. The slip knot, I like to just start off with doing a little kind of crossover like this, and then with the yarn that's still connected to the ball, I put it over top the loop, and then I grab the yarn here and just pull tight, and that is your slip knot. Let's try that again. So I like to do a loop. So this end is over top this end that is connected to the yarn ball. Put the yarn ball length over the hole here, and then grab the yarn like so, and then pull. And there you have your slip knot. And this is one of the basic steps where you get to start a lot of your things. So a lot of times when you're doing some of the projects that are like wraps or scarves or something like that, you'll be doing chains and starting with the slip knot. So let's start off with this, and let's move on now to chaining. So once you've got your slip knot secure and stuff like that, you can pull it tight or loose to however what you want. They usually sometimes ask you to chain. So a lot of the projects actually ask you to chain quite a bit, but essentially what you're supposed to do is with your chain, once you have your slip knot, you literally just grab the yarn that's on the yarn ball, it's part of the yarn ball, and you just pull through the slip knot, and then you just keep on pulling through. So you grab the yarn and you pull through like this, and that is chaining, like that. So it's pretty simple, and you should have something that looks like, you know, kind of like a braid of some sort, but depending on your project, it'll ask you to do a certain amount of chaining, but that's how you chain. So let's do a couple more. So you grab the yarn, pull through, grab the yarn, pull through, and depending on kind of how tight you can hold your kind of like braid here, you can get like maybe 2 or 3 before you have to move your hands. My hands are really small, so I only get about 2, maximum 3 chains before I have to kind of move my hands. But that is how you do a chain. So let's move on now to the next one, which is to connect this together into a circle. So sometimes when you are working with a pattern that is kind of a little bit more, I guess, round, or you're working in rounds, kind of like a toque of some sort, sometimes what they'll ask you to do is to chain a certain amount of chains. So I have 6 here, and then what they want you to do is to go back to the front and chain and connect it together. So this is what it looks like. So you have your 6 chains, and you're going to go back to the beginning here, and a chain, and a lot of times what they'll do is they'll ask you to just pull through like this, slip stitch like that, and then you'll have a kind of circle. So let's do that again. So you have however many chains you need, and what they would usually ask you to do is to go back to the first chain and slip stitch through this chain. So slip stitching is where you just pull through this one here, and then you just pull through that one there. And what you end up with is a little circle like this. The thing about this is that this little circle here, this space here, will always be there. Unless the pattern asks you to kind of use this area to like kind of add more chains in, this is exactly what you're looking at. You're gonna have like a chain of 6, in my case, and a hole. And for some patterns that is desirable, but for some patterns you don't want a space in the middle. And this is where we kind of go to the next thing that I'm going to show you, and the last thing I'm going to show you today in this video, which is the magic ring or the magic circle. So let's jump over to that by resetting our yarn. So the magic circle or the magic ring is something that you use a lot in amigurumi. Because in amigurumi you're always making kind of like spherical objects and stuff like that, you want to start off usually with this magic circle or magic ring. So magic circle or magic ring is not actually that complicated, but it just looks complicated. What I usually do is I use 2 fingers and I start off with the yarn here, kind of diagonal like this. I hold it with my thumb and then I wrap it around this way here, and then the second time when I wrap it around, I make sure I wrap it around behind the first loop here, like this. So let's do that again. I hold the yarn with my fingers, 2 or 3 fingers, doesn't really matter, and I yarn over like this, so it's diagonal towards my finger, straight down, and then diagonal behind the first loop like this. Okay, so at this point you're going to be using these 2 loops here. So what you're going to be doing is you're going to grab your hook and you're going to go underneath, and you're going to grab this first one and twist like that. So let's do that again. You're going to take your hook, go underneath the first loop, grab this second one and twist like that. Next step, you're going to take this yarn here. This piece of yarn is still connected to that ball there, and what you're going to do is you're going to grab it and you're going to pull through like that. And once you're done, that is your magic circle. So let's do that again. So hook under, grab, twist. After that, you grab the yarn that's still connected to your ball and you pull it through like this. And once you're done that, this is your magic circle essentially. And then what they usually ask you to do is to kind of like maybe put chains or like double stitches or double crochets or single stitches into here. It doesn't really matter. This is your magic circle. But I will show you kind of what that looks like. So once you're done this, like, you know, sometimes they'll ask you like single crochet or something like that or whatever. And this is the magic, the magic of the magic circle. So I'm just going to give this as an example. And in another video, I'll show you how to do kind of start up an amigurumi pattern. So you start with that, and what they do is they ask you to tighten. So the great thing about the magic circle is previously, before, when you chained 6 and you connected it together with a slip stitch, you had a little circle, like a space in the middle, and you couldn't do anything about it. Well, with this one here, what you can do is you pull the string, tail, and guess what, look, no circle. No space here. And that's what's great about the magic circle, and that's what's awesome about it, and that's why amigurumi patterns always use this, because if you're stuffing things, you don't want any of these like kind of random spaces anywhere. Anyways, those were kind of like the 3 or 4 things I wanted to show you. The slip knot with the chaining, and then the kind of chain and link together with a slip stitch, create a kind of ring, and then this magic circle or magic ring here. Let me know if there are any other videos you wanted me to kind of do. There will be another video on single, double, and treble crochet, and then I'll see kind of what videos I can create in terms of kind of like the projects that I'm doing. But anyways, thank you so much for watching. I will see you guys in the next video. Bye bye.